We want to thank Factor, our new sponsor. Factor delivers delicious, fresh, never frozen meals that are ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Head to factormeals.com/filmsack50 and use the code filmsack50 to get 50% off your first box.
Will I see you again?
It's a small island.
Perhaps we can have dinner together.
No.
Jettison cocoon.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello, and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. This is episode 608. I'm Scott Johnson. Joined today by Brian. Every year he likes to go naked lady silhouette hunting with his friends Dunaway.
There they are. Oh, hi.
Hi.
This week on Film Sack, we thunder on over to HBO, no, it's just Max now, and have a ball watching this PG-rated 1965 sexy thriller starring everybody's favorite shorty shorts wearing hairy spy guy from merry old England go up against a one-eyed number 2 who arranged the theft of some international nukes to blow up a random metropolis. Unless Big Ben strikes 7 at 6 and 100 million sterling is delivered to some lats and longs, it's determined by number 1. Also, there were sharks that definitely got harmed during the filming of this movie. Jesus! Was this just the one film then? Anywho, thank you for joining me today. Number 2, number 3, and 4. The evil lair retractable blinds are broken, so enjoy the eye-level view of my crotch and pushy stroking. That's how he says it. Isn't that right, Mr. Number 9 Lives? Hey, number 2. Great job this week. Number 3, also outstanding. Number 4, I noticed you didn't put any money in the snack box when you took those ho-hos. So now enjoy this deadly ass zapping from the office chair. Disco Valente. Randy? Yellow Submarine goes.
Oh, man. Are you sure weed's not legal in South Carolina? Because I'm just saying, you know?
Oh, it's not legal.
Yeah.
But,
okay. All right.
Just saying.
I
Feels
want to
like it
see
might
your
be.
lyrics every week.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to yours.
No kidding.
It's not legal, but it's still available.
Indeed. Also with us, Randy. His dance involves dipping his feet in a small fire in front of him, Jordan.
Aloha, Scott. Brian. Did I ever tell y'all about the time I ran an exclusive day spa for hard-working government agents and their enemies?
No.
True story. This was called Deep Ops, and the way it worked was we had 2 floors. The bottom floor was the spa, and the second floor was like a hotel where our government agent clients could just really listen in on each other, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I get in on this lucrative business? I'll tell you. You just got to follow my 3 easy rules. Number 1, have as few staff as possible.
Yeah.
You can probably get away with only having 1 person on staff. Number 2, make sure that 1 person is a woman and that she's conventionally attractive and sexually available to the clientele. This should be easy because every woman in the world is conventionally attractive and sexually available, as you know. So you can just hire any woman in the world.
Sure. Sure.
Number 3, since you don't have any staff to speak of, and the one you do have spends a lot of her time in a soundproof room where she can't hear your guests screaming for help, you're going to have to load up your spa with automated machines that provide the spa treatments. Don't worry about safety devices on the machine. If they injure your guests, you can always make everything better by having sex with them. The guests, not the machines. Okay, you know what? Maybe the machines too.
Yeah,
I've been to this spa.
Why take the machines out of the mix? You know, let's have them in there. It's like our pre-show. Also with us, Brian. He's playing at the Kiss Kiss Club this weekend, isn't it?
I am, yes, and be there and watch me step on fiery things in front of me. All right, let's get to this. I broke up with the band twice while I was writing this song.
Wow.
Today is gonna be the day that Blofeld is gonna notice me.
Oh.
12 hoods, Spectre's got the goods, but I'm the one he's gonna see. I've got a plan that'll permanently keep me out of the chair that zaps my ass. Same words that Brian Dunaway used, as a matter of fact. Eye patch, it's hiding just a scratch, but it gives me such an evil stare. Fighter jets, atomic bombs, no less, hidden in my underwater lair. I don't believe that anybody, even MI6, can stop me now. And all my S.P.E.C.T.R.E colleagues call me Margot. But after I get the cash, I'll move to Fargo. Ditch these 2-bit thugs and find some farmland in the States, then I'll buy a cow. Because James Bond, he won't be around to rely on. And after all, what the hell's a Thunderball?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We never do get that answer. We don't know what a Thunderball is.
We don't know what a Thunderball is.
It's a code name.
It's a code name.
Well, yes,
and it's a trope, man. This is a trope.
Early trope.
And I brought it up before.
Hold on. Here's your early trope.
And it's
a trope
of
now.
The name of your movie comes from something someone says, and what they say is completely random to the rest of the script. So, like the trope should be called Chasing Amy, because in the middle of the movie Chasing Amy, a character just tells a story about someone named Amy, and it has nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't thought about it, but is this kind of like some of the earlier instances of this happening in films? 1965, Thunderball. I mean, was 007? Is he pushing this to popularity? Is this something that was
because
going
back then,
on
prior to then, it was really on the nose, right? It was like attack on New York City, or and then the movie was literally
the
monsters
Spy.
attacking.
Well, Spy Love Me was later, but
but usually I think movie titles in general leading up through the 60s were very literal. And this one was maybe taking a bit of a, I don't know.
But it was all named after the books, though, right? Because we'd already been doing this kind of trope thing in the books.
Sure. And this was, obviously an Ian Fleming novel before it was a movie. And you've got, you think about other things like Casablanca. Well, that's, the place where most of the movie takes place, or Gone with the Wind. That was came from the book, things like that.
And this is
then you start to get vague.
Yeah.
I think we are on the part of the timeline where we're now seeing a movie based on an Ian Fleming book that was written after the movies started. I think this is the first. The first
was
book.
It this?
The first book where Ian Fleming has now seen James Bond movies.
Right.
and so
I see.
It's feeding back into the machine, right?
Right. And so if you watch this movie and think to yourself, there is something self-aware about this movie versus first three. There's three, right?
I can't wait to talk about that.
This is the fourth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, all right. There's something to that.
I agree. I agree. I could
is.
totally feel it in this movie, and we should probably let Fletcher explain a little bit more. But it is Thunderball, and here's what he has to say.
Thunderball. James Bond heads to the Bahamas to recover 2 nuclear warheads stolen by S.P.E.C.T.R.E agent Emilio Largo in an international extortion scheme.
Oh my lord.
I like how he just heads. It sounds like a little trip. It's like a vacation. He's heading to James Bond's heading to the Bahamas. Yes.
Yeah, he kind of was. He was sort of on vacation for a lot of this movie.
You know what? I'm gonna already argue with myself. I'm looking at the books versus the movies, and it looks like this book was written completed before Ian Fleming could have seen Dr.
But the controversy here and the writing, while we're talking about it, was the fact that it was being written. So it must have at least been, they knew the movie was coming out, because it was originally pitched as a screenplay. And then he is a collaborative effort. And then he went back and he wrote the book based on that screenplay and didn't give any credit to the other 2 authors. And that caused a shitstorm. So I think there was still at least screenwriting and movie being thought about, whether they knew everything about it.
Yeah. I mean, he might have even been on set for some of the filming and said, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of like the vibe that I'm getting from this. And use that to influence his writing for.
I remember back when I read these books that I felt like there was a little bit of a downhill after the first few, and then it kind of like plateaued at a lower level, and then it started climbing for me. And maybe that's just a reader's experience.
I think plus he's probably super busy at this time. I mean, there's just so much Bond. He's just churning them out. So probably it wasn't like a dip.
He was a Bond monster. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. But Ian Fleming was known for writing a book every year. He was publishing a new James Bond book every year for a while, for like a dozen years or more.
Yeah.
You see that, George R. R. Martin? Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
But he was splitting his energy too, though, because he's still consulting on these films, and being involved with all of that. Very distracting, I'm sure. That's kind of a unique situation. I think, except for like you guys said, R. Martin. Right in the middle of all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, well, in Martin's case, he was done with all the books that are still currently done when Game of Thrones started in 2011. He was working on book 6, which is still being worked on. So it's a little bit different. It's like almost like the opposite. Like he thinks
that if he doesn't finish it, that he can't die?
I think he just, maybe he thinks he's immortal or something. I mean, he just needs to poo or get off that pot.
He's like, if I write this, I might die. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm hanging on.
I actually feel like the longer it goes without Winds of Winter, the better, because we're trying to get over the TV show, and I think like the longer we have to sort of forget, the more we'll like the book.
I think you're absolutely correct about that, and also the success of the spin-off series is, I think, good for the overall vibe, since that last season was so disliked. But one quick note here: I want to throw some agreement behind this idea that this is the movie where they start feeling their Bond oats a little bit. In a way that was going to stick throughout, or at least up till Craig. And it was like, hey, how about more gadgets? How about more ridiculous scenarios, like, a plane snagging our balloon and carrying us up and carrying us home, like bullshit like that. This is also the first time you get a glimpse at all those other double agents, all of the other OO agents in one shot. And that's like a very sort of navel gazy, like, hey, I've only seen James Bond, but look at this. We got all the other double O's in here. Look at
this movie is this movie is full of confidence. This is the most confident James Bond film. You can tell from the top to the bottom that the shots are longer. They don't cut away. They're giving us full looks at S.P.E.C.T.R.E and how they operate. This is our real first deep dive into, and how that works. I mean, there's shots under the sea where they just go on for freaking ever. They show you how they load up the missiles on that little submarine thing.
Well, I want to ask you a question, because I could edit this movie down to 35 minutes.
Oh, absolutely.
Very excited.
Yes.
I did. How were you, like, throughout watching this movie? 2 hours plus. How you doing?
As a movie, as a lover of the procedure of creating movies, I was blown away. As a movie watcher who just likes to watch a freaking movie and just enjoy myself, it is tough.
It's
long.
long.
It goes on forever.
Yeah.
It's easily my favorite. I mean, we've only had 3 before this one. It's my favorite so far of the series.
Wow.
Yeah, the part 4. Yeah, the 4th one. Yeah.
That's a very bold statement. I really go around the room. Scott Johnson.
I'm with Ibbott. This is my favorite one.
I like the last one better than this one. I didn't hate this one, but I thought the one right before this
Goldfinger?
that Goldfinger was more my speed. But and maybe that helped actually to have that cool song in it.
Yeah.
Although I really like Tom Jones. He can sing me to sleep, whatever.
He's
I like
great,
that.
But Thunderball, the lyrics don't make any sense.
These rarely do. They rarely do.
Right. His fight goes on and on and on and on and on.
He's a thunder. Then they can't say no to the Bond. He's a Thunderball or something.
I thought I couldn't tell. Is the song? Here's me, wondering all this time. Is the song about Bond? Is the song about Largo? Like his time of let's see, he will break any heart without regrets, very Bondy, but his days of asking are all gone. Is that Bond or is that Largo?
That's what this movie is all about. This whole movie is about that. Go ahead.
It's obviously about the bad guy. It has to be about the bad guy.
It's according to who wrote the song.
I don't know whether that bad guy is Largo or Blofeld, but it's about the bad guy.
Right.
Okay.
It has to be.
All right.
See, but that's a question though, because I mean, Largo breaking hearts. Seriously, who's
he's not
looking at
breaking
old
any
man
hearts.
Pickle Nose? And
He's not breaking any hearts.
take my heart. Yeah.
Old man Pickle Nose. I thought you were gonna go for like a
That's the
patch
first.
joke.
That's the first like. That's like the first thing I wrote down. What's up with this guy's nose?
Yeah.
What's up with Kojak over here with the big
Right.
nose?
I mean, yeah, sure. Eye patch, great, whatever. But look at that guy's nose, man. I think I'd wear an eye patch that covers part of
Put
my
a
nose.
patch over his nose too.
patch.
I will say this. I thought maybe it's just been too long since I've seen the others that we watched prior to this, the other three, but they all had slightly better sound mixing than this movie.
yeah.
This movie had the worst sound mixing. They would go from like the most quiet conversation somewhere,
Yes.
and then the sound of a boat or a plane or a car would immediately cut in for the next scene, and it was like, oh my gosh, turn down the TV. Oh wait, turn it up again. They're talking again.
And there were 3 principal characters that were being dubbed over their voices, and every one of them I was catching it. Like after Largo spoke for a little while, you start being like, why am I looking at the back of this guy's head? Oh right.
Oh,
This,
yeah.
like I said, this movie had confidence. It was loud. It was long. It didn't apologize for anything. The artists were allowed, for good or bad, to really just stretch with the characters, the audio, the visual. I think there was also didn't they film this on different?
This is the first one filmed in widescreen.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the underwater fight scenes, I've never seen anything like it. The firefight, underwater stuff. As a person who appreciates movie making, I was blown away. As a person who was watching the film, I was like, okay, all right, we get it.
How slow it is to throw a punch underwater, and like how that's not going to be enough to hurt anybody. Yeah,
No. And people losing goggles and then going, oh no, my goggles!
my
and I'm like, come
eyes.
on, dude, you're not in a pool. It's not bleach. It's seawater. Come on.
Yeah, and those scenes, all the underwater scenes, for the most part, could have been trimmed by 2/3.
Right. Easily 2/3. Yeah, I agree.
I just got to get back to the quality of the first 4. This is a little heart wrenching, but I got to say I would rank them from Russia with Love is the best, then Goldfinger, then A Bit of a Gap, then Dr. No, then Thunderball. Like I have it last among the first 4.
Oh wow!
I don't know if that's like a reverse recency bias, but From Russia with Love just really hit all the notes for me. And this movie felt like a band that was trying to hit notes that it only heard once. You know what I mean?
Everybody was playing it once.
I think for me, and it's something we talked about earlier on, is that this movie establishes so many of the things that we're going to get used to with James Bond. We get our first James Bond device that is in a wristwatch. Somebody in From Russia with Love, I think, had a wristwatch deal before, or Goldfinger maybe. But we get Q complaining about being out in the field. We get underwater vehicles that turn into other underwater vehicles, and boats that turn into other smaller boats.
But at the same time, like this movie piled on some things. Way too many Bond girls. I don't even know who the Bond girls are. Like
there were a lot.
Between
oh, really?
Well, there was the villain lady. The villain lady doesn't count, does she? Or does she?
Right?
Do you count the villain? Because she was like, I don't know.
Which Volop?
You got to count her. She's absolutely. They had the sex, whether he likes it or not. I love that the tables got turned on Bond in this one. I like that.
A problem with that, but that, by the way, is I can't keep track of who's who. Like, it was all I could do to keep track of his assistant in the field.
I mean, it was especially right because she's right. She can't get the boat started. That one right there, and it's basically the She's just basically used as a she was killed, and now.
So that's a Bond trope. He always loses a woman along the way, at least one. In Martine Beswick, the actress plays Paula, and she's working with 007, and she ends up killing herself before Bond can get there to save her. And that's kind of like his push, right?
I had to keep reminding myself, though, that the other girl he rode off in the boat with was not her. Like to me, those two women were almost identical.
Right.
Really, I find them
Domino.
totally different.
Yeah, it really
I found
threw
them
me.
Look totally different. I think you're talking
because
about
they have the same hair color. At least
Right.
Volpe has a little
Claudine.
bit redder hair, and the
I think that
the
was
blonde
it.
at the spa.
I think that was
Domino is Claudine Auger and
Auger.
Yeah, Auger. Excuse me, Auger. She's
French.
French. You're right. This is a very Frenchy movie. This is like this introduces the first French characters, right? This is the first time we really get close with the French. And I totally could tell the difference between the two. They didn't look nothing alike to me.
How do you guys feel about our new Felix Slider, played by
Did not like.
Rick?
Did not like, agree.
Yeah, but look at
Did
this
not
guy's
care
name,
for.
Rick Van Nutter. That's a cool name.
He just had the
That's
best.
a great name.
Oh my gosh,
He does
that's a
have the
great name.
best.
Yeah, do we just get him for Thunderball? We don't get him for the next one.
I don't
Correct.
think so. I don't
Right.
think
It's
he's
just
around after
Thunderball.
that. Yeah.
Well, they kind of relegated him just to a helicopter pilot anyway in this one.
It was very
He
small.
did a couple of
yeah.
things, but that
Yeah.
was pretty much it.
He did not have much to do. The guy that played the main baddie, what's his name again?
Adolf.
Largo. Yeah.
Adolf
Largo.
Seeley.
So two
Adolf.
people, right? We have the guy we see and the guy we hear. And
Once number one.
Right. Once again, we have a James Bond villain dubbed.
Yeah.
He looks
Oh, yeah.
like the guy on Seinfeld who's the mohel that's there to do the circumcision.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it out of my head. This the panicky mohel at the freaking circumcision on Seinfeld. But
yeah.
But anyway,
I can see that.
they keep doing this thing where they will hire somebody to be your big bad, and then he'll get tons of screen time, but his accent is so thick that they have to overdub him, and it's so distracting to me. It's so hard for me to take them as
just
seriously.
focusing on that eye patch. That's what I did. Just
Goldfinger was the same
laser.
way. Goldfinger was like constant overdub and barely lips matching, and I just thought, okay, well, I feel like in the 60s we must have been suckers for that. We just didn't know the difference, or we didn't care, or I don't know, but I just notice it now. So
I actually like it. I find it interesting. What a much more progressively ethnic. You just you had all these different actors from all over the world. You didn't worry about it as much. You would rather have a dub over someone who is more authentic than choosing someone that can do a good accent.
I guess so. I guess I just want the dub work to be less distracting and not,
Yeah, and you can find somebody who looks menacing, can look like a villain, that also has a clear voice that you can understand and hear when he speaks.
His first French contact at the very beginning, that the top of the movie story where the guy fakes his death.
Oh, right.
I love that. I love
Yes.
how he reveals him too. He's like, "Oh, I knew it was you when you opened the door. No lady would do that." And I was like, "Oh God, this is hilarious." And that whole fight scene, that's when I knew this was going to be a different James Bond movie. The camera work was totally different. The fight scenes were so much more physical.
Mm.
You could just really feel the confidence in everything, like I've said before. But
you know what? I think I
loved
could summarize my complaint about this movie with a scene in the movie.
it. Right.
James Bond has a license to kill.
Yeah.
And this movie would
but
be
no obligation.
right, exactly. Well, and no interest also
Right,
in
right.
killing. And that's just like he actually says to Felix at one point, that wouldn't be my style, or you don't know me very well, or something like that.
Right.
And because he's asked, why didn't you just kill that guy?
Yeah.
And it's like over and over during this movie. Like there's a scene where he returns to the room and there's a henchman waiting in the bathtub and he turns on the water. The guy comes out and then he just lets him go. If you just kill the guy, so much better off.
Oh yeah,
You know?
and it
And-
does seem counter to previous films.
The sharks, right?
The movies before this all had him being a little more ruthless. I felt like.
Yeah,
And
It's
this
not
did.
a license to kill, and this movie kind of ignores that. And I'm just like, is he supposed to be Batman now? I don't like it.
I want there to be a
Just
James.
because he can kill doesn't mean he has to.
right.
That's now is his option. He gets to choose. I liked how I like this. I like that this movie seemed like it was self-aware.
Yeah.
I like the fact that even though there was expletive things going on that we had seen in the previous movies, James Bond also gets it. We step outside and go, okay, we know who this guy is. He even gets raped by a machine, which I thought was hilarious when the stretcher thing.
It was
I don't know if he got
really
raped
silly.
by it. He
It
got
was really depicted really silly.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, feel bad for him when he kind of does the same thing with kind of
exactly.
a black
I was
male.
I was like, this is
worker.
perfect.
Yeah, that was a weird moment, I thought. And who was the voice? Was it Big Nose Eye Patch that said goodbye, Mr. Bond, and then turned that machine on? Because he never did see his face. Was that
No, that was Count Lippe, right? Is that who that
Count
was?
Lippe,
It was
yeah.
Count Lippe. I love the name.
I don't know if it's Lippy or Lippe or whatever, but
yeah. He's French, right?
We're going with Lippe.
Guy Dolman.
Yeah,
He's a Kiwi. That's the funniest thing about it.
Oh, really?
that's great.
Guy
I love how
Dolman
they
is a
cast these
Kiwi.
things. I love
they had that rivalry, like Randy mentioned in his intro, that is such a weird happenstance that the spa that Bond goes to recover from his previous encounter is the same place that Spectre. So they're almost like these, we're just all professionals, dude. We're just all, going to the same spots.
We all go to the same spot to just relax and unwind.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. There was you know how the movies they open with that gun barrel logo thing, right?
Yeah.
With the blood and stuff. The trivia says that Connery performed this for the first time because they changed the film. It was the Panavision widescreen, like David said.
Right.
Yeah.
I still felt like that dude in the version I watched on Max looked like the old guy that wasn't Sean Connery.
It was close because Sean Connery was doing his best impression. He still just falls forward. So instead of him suddenly flipping to the camera like they do in later on at the barrel, he still does that fall forward. I guess we still thought that was clever.
I'm surprised.
How do you fool somebody?
I guess I'm surprised that wasn't just always whoever's playing James Bond. Why was that ever a guy that isn't?
It was a
James
little
Bond?
faster.
It's odd to me. I guess you got stock footage and now you just tack it on the top.
Probably like, we need an opening. Should we bring Sean Connery back? No, he's too expensive. Let's just get dude who holds the boom mic.
That was a second unit. That was a second unit director set up on some sound stage doing all that stuff, putting the silhouette girls together and all that stuff.
It's his job. It's
his job. That's what he does.
He knows who he is and what he has to get done. But I also thought this was the first time where the intro sequence felt like the pattern that they were going to go with from now on. Even Goldfinger kind of missed the mark a little bit. It was close. The song was right, but the visuals didn't exactly do it. This thing was like, all right, weird, artistic, strange, freaking Art Nouveau going on here with like color and silhouettes and all that business.
Of naked ladies and dudes
Swimming.
with, in this case, harpoons.
Yep.
And usually guns or something. That's
I kept thinking,
naked ladies and guns. You got yourself an opening.
At least with this one, it was a pretense, sort of like looking forward to a lot of underwater stuff. Right. I find it almost right. So watching it with 13-year-old, and he's just this is BS right here. I'm seeing a bunch of, I guess he was like, this is supposed to be titillating 60 years ago.
I was curious about this. Was that generation's version of scrambled porn? Was it kind of like, I think I saw a nipple silhouette.
Because you didn't have VHS even. So basically they'd have to go to the theater and just like hope that they could maybe make out a nipple in the quick fleeting moments that it went by. Yeah, clearly all these women threw their underwear on stage when Tom Jones started singing.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just right after the song began. They threw their underwear
then they threw them off because it was Tom Jones.
Yeah.
That's right. And this was another one that was going to be a Shirley Bassey song.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she recorded. There's a version out there that she recorded, and then they, I guess, said, "Haven't we used her enough? Let's go to Tom Jones."
Wow.
I'm glad.
So there's also
There's
a Johnny Cash version of this somewhere.
Is it really?
Yeah. They were supposed to use it, or maybe it was a whole other song, but they hired Johnny Cash to do it, and it sounded too much like one of his, A Man Named Sue kind of songs, and they were like, "Forget it, we're not doing it."
Right.
Do you think we'll ever have casual jetpacks? Think that'll ever happen?
No.
Yes.
We always dream of it, but it just never happens.
I mean, the guys chasing James Bond could have run over and grabbed his legs because that thing lifts off the ground so slowly and just goes half a block away.
But also, it must have been really, really difficult to actually do that stunt. Like, I'll bet you that jetpack had exactly the trajectory of that we saw every time. Like, absolutely, you can't go sideways. You just go up and down, and you go about 150 yards forward, and that's the whole deal. Like, the whole jetpack is exhausted now, and you do this one thing. And they could have, while he's 200 feet in the air, they could have just run over to the car where he's going to land.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Until Frenchie slowly was like, she's like flipping buttons in the car. It's like, oh, do, 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 do. She could have pulled off by now, but no, she prefers to put up the bullet shield. It's like pushing buttons and stuff.
And also, I'm sorry, water guns? No, your car doesn't have water guns.
Right? How is it holding that much water? How much lighter is that car now than all that water that it just shot at the bad guys?
Yeah, a lot of hand wavy gadget stuff in this one.
Yes,
I thought,
for sure.
Compared to
I guess we
previous
don't see that it's also hooked up to a hydrant. Like, park the car near a hydrant so that we've got.
I'm smart about these things. I think
Yes,
I heard.
exactly.
Here's just a taste of the Johnny Cash one. I haven't actually heard this, so.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I could hear that. And then we got some kind of horny thing. Let's move ahead.
There's a rumble in the sky and all the world can hear it call.
I mean, it might have worked. It might have been fine.
I like that.
It would have worked. It would have worked if he went to Arizona instead of the Bahamas, right? Like you kind of want your theme song to mirror the locale, the exotic locale that James Bond's going to, and in the case of Thunderball, it's just not.
You mean the hats on parade? That was a great.
Right. Not that. Oh God, yeah, that looked like the worst parade I'd never want to go to. I'm sorry, any Bahamian listeners, but
And it's probably
Junkanoo does not look like fun.
Probably the only authentic and like culturally significant thing in a James Bond movie.
It was just filmed horribly. I think the probably the parade itself is probably fantastic. The event's probably fantastic, but it was just filmed horribly.
Yeah. It was filmed really badly, and it felt like it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Like there was zero light.
Yeah. I mean, we were in everybody's face, and all you ever saw was just hats and some ladies on floats, just and every once in a while you catch a James Bond peering through a hole.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, lots of hole peering. Notice that.
Yeah.
But I've been to a few Mardi Gras down south, and boy, this was not a good one.
It was not a the Jankaroo is what it was called. Is that what it's called?
Junkaroo.
Yeah, I call it a Jankaroo because it was filmed janky.
I did kind of like the dice people. They had like dice hats, dice feet.
Oh yeah,
dice hats and card bodies. They were like
they were like warriors
gambling devices.
Yeah, exactly. They were as stupid as you could get, and I kind of enjoyed some of that. But that was also one of those sound moments where they kept going back to MI6, working on secret sub shit.
By the way, those dice head people and the card body people, if you pull down their pants, you'd see their little roulette balls.
They're little thunder roulette balls. I got you.
Little thunder roulette balls. Yeah.
Come on, Black 7. Come on, Black 7. Everyone says when they pull their pants down. But anyway,
I don't know, but I would love to go to Club Kiss Kiss. That looked like a.
Oh yeah, dude! That looked like
totally,
had that lady stepping in the fire. You got
nobody was watching her either. That was my favorite part. I'm like, is anybody watching this lady?
They really weren't.
Oh no, nobody's watching. Nobody's watching anything in that club. A huge dance floor. Somebody can get shot on that dance floor, and nobody will notice.
Nobody. Her shot. Lame. Good Lord. All right, so he turns around. She gets shot because he's quick on the draw, and it stops the bullet because it hits her. But by the way, when he was holding her, it should have gone through his hand because his hand was clasped
all
over
the other
it.
henchmen just run. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he moves it and then just moves it enough so the audience can go, ooh, blood, and then you're like, oh, okay, I realize she's dead.
I hated how they killed the henchmen in this one. We had such better henchmen death in the previous ones. They just, it was just so unceremonious. She was so important. I mean, she saved James Bond. And then she also took advantage of him, and she was just an amazing character, and they just shot her in the back. And
I mean, she kills she kills what's his face to plant his double. That was Volpe, not Domino, that got shot in the Kiss.
Oh, yeah. That's Volpe.
Wait, what now? Wait,
Volpin.
Back up.
That was Volpe.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, she didn't save James Bond. Domino did, didn't she?
No, I thought she did because what's his face screwed up the plan because Domino wasn't even at the spa. That happened at the spa.
Oh,
you're right. You guys really don't remember.
I'm talking about the dance on the dance floor.
Right.
Yeah. She gets shot there, but she was at the spa earlier.
Wait. She wasn't at the spa.
That's a different lady. That's just a lady that ran the spa. That's a different lady.
Say again, there's too many women who are involved with James Bond's life and death.
Maybe you're kind of right.
So.
Yeah.
You know how Randy's always talking.
She's the one who helps with the swapping of the pilot dude.
Yeah.
Now who you
she arranges Volpe.
Yeah, right. Correct.
Yeah.
Who is in the
She
pilot
wasn't
guy?
at the spa though.
is-
She does that off site, and then they swap in the dead body of the pilot.
Yeah, the spa
guy
lady's
for
a whole
the-
different lady. Whole different
Yeah.
chick.
Oh,
For
but there's a spa
plastic
lady, but
surgery.
she doesn't save him. Spa lady stays at the spa.
Yes.
Patricia, she
Yes.
never comes out and saves Bond on the road.
No.
No.
It sounds like I don't know what you're arguing anymore.
Okay. So you're talking about Fiona? What are you talking about? Which
Fiona
character are you
Volpe.
talking about?
Yes,
You're
Fiona
just-
Volpe.
Yeah.
Just proving
She's
Randy's
the one-
point
She
here.
wants Bond dead,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she's arranging to get him
But
killed.
they're
with the-
trying to kill. They're
squad.
trying to kill him too soon, and it's going to blow the plan.
Oh, did she save him?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So she just delays his death. Really,
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
she doesn't want to save him. She just wants to delay his death until the right time.
I do think it's
Exactly.
funny that a lot of weeks, one of the things I always hear Randy say is, there's precisely one woman in this movie. There's no other women. And
Well,
in
guess
this
what,
one,
Randy?
you're
They
like,
have a whole slew of them.
yeah, we got
And they
this
all
ton.
look exactly alike.
Four women that all look alike except for slight changes to their hair color.
I want to see. Am I making the case that there may as well be only one woman in the world?
Kinda,
Because
yeah.
They're all interchangeable somehow.
A little bit.
No,
How do
that's
you
not
like
true.
it when you get what you wanted, Randy? How does
It's
it
not-
feel?
It's not true. I love after James Bond gets his mission and everything, he's standing out in Moneypenny's office, and she is pressing her breasts up
Oh,
against his back, like
Yeah.
like pressing.
Looking over his shoulder at the like
She is not.
Yeah.
No, she is not working with him. This is not a professional situation. She is pressing her body into his body, and he is just like, I don't care. I don't
I
care
had
about
to-
you.
Yeah.
I watched 2 hours of this, and I didn't want to go back, but I was curious what happened to James Bond's hat. Did I look away to look at my notes for a minute? Because when he comes out,
yeah, he comes
I
out and his
remember-
hat's gone. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what the,
and
what
he
the
says,
reason for
I
that
thought I had a hat or something. And I was like, yeah, he had a hat. And I saw him put it up there.
I think.
Chick in the
I
bucket.
think.
Hat in the
I
bucket.
have a theory,
Right.
and that is that the foreign secretary stole it.
Okay. Okay.
So
on his way out.
right. So the PM's foreign secretary comes and gives the 00 unit the bad news, and then he immediately leaves. I'm sorry. This is all wrong. I have a huge complaint here. The foreign secretary would have been so involved in their further planning because
Right.
he would need to go tell the prime minister what the hell they were about to do.
Mhm.
And instead, for some reason, he's like, now that I've told you some of the details, not all, I'm out. And he just
think
leaves.
You may be right, because I did get a weird vibe, but I never got any follow up. And maybe the hat stealing was the whole point. I don't know. It was weird.
I mean,
It's so
we've never had
strange.
a hat in a bucket before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hat in the bucket. You're not wrong.
We have this many
Or-
chicks,
Or as we
if
call it, an empty hat rack. Yeah.
this many chicks, we have to switch over to a hat in a bucket for this
Yeah,
episode.
absolutely we do. I thought that was an odd thing, and then I forgot all about it, and then you guys brought it up again, and now I'm even more annoyed because I don't
Okay.
get
So
it.
I didn't. It wasn't just me.
It
then,
wasn't
okay? I
just
thought maybe
you.
I'd missed something. All
No,
right.
it wasn't
I
just you.
love the whole thing between Bond and Moneypenny, because clearly he's got zero scruples when it comes to like blackmailing a woman to have sex with her in a sauna.
That's
but
terrible.
he's never going to shit where he eats at work.
No,
right? He's never
he's
going to
smart.
fish off the company pier.
which also doesn't jive with the overall arrangement. The arrangement, for some reason, is that M and Q and Moneypenny all intersect with Bond to do one discrete thing, and that's it. For some reason, like M gives you your mission. And he tells you what you're going to do. Maybe you argue and say, no, I need to go to the Bahamas. And M's like, okay, go to the Bahamas then.
Yeah.
But you will never hear from M again. He is the most hands-off boss that
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
existed.
But he trusts Bond,
Yeah,
right?
even
They
to the
express
point-
that here.
Exactly. To the
If
point where
Bond
he
says-
defends and says, if Bond says he saw this, I believe him. So shut the F up.
And stop
And
calling
ring
me.
the-
And stop
ring-
calling me old.
And ring Big Ben 6 times or 7 times. Yeah,
7
he said.
times.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. By the way, speaking of all these ladies, you're all going to know what grossed me out. Let's just get to it. Let's just do it.
Gross.
Yeah.
The easiest,
Let
easiest
us-
one, right? there.
Yeah,
Let
this
us-
is
let
really
us
easy.
all
What? Does it
remember
involve a
the
foot,
sucking of the
Scott?
feet.
Yeah, gosh, I wonder if it has something to do with the feet. Let's say it this way. It was Tarantino's favorite scene in this film. Is the one.
Gross.
How
Yeah.
you're supposed to get a stinger out? If,
What was it? She was so funny. She said, "Ow, poison sticky fish. What did she call it?
Yeah,
forget
I don't know
was
because it wasn't an urchin. I was looking for. Oh, did she step on an urchin? Because then he should just pee on it. But
what
but
was it? I
wasn't,
can't. I wrote it down because I went back and I did rewind. I wasn't worried about the hat, but I did know what she said because what the crap is it called? It was some kind of like urchin or something. Sticky urchin.
Sticky urchin. No, I don't know what it was. It's some kind of stinger from like a jellyfish type deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it egg or something? Egg sticky, but whatever.
I think he just was wanting to.
She said sea egg spines. That was it. They're poisonous.
Sea egg spines. Ugh.
And then he sucked it right out of her foot.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. I'm not a fan of anything you've just said. I don't like any of that. That is all
there it
gross.
is right there. An egg spine with her right foot takes out the spine. He does it from her left. Oh, so there's a blooper too. He sucks the wrong foot, apparently.
Did he really?
Oh.
But does he really?
No, you know what he did. They went, I'm sorry, Sean, you did the wrong foot. And he went, I'm not doing that again.
That's too bad.
You're just going to reverse the film. No, I'm not doing it.
I just put a still from that scene in the chat. There is no doubt in my mind that all of it, the writing, the blocking, everything is designed to give you a good look at her butt. That's all it's about.
There's a couple of shots that
he had to suck it out of her right foot, the correct foot.
Yeah,
the butt would have been turned sideways, would not be.
That's right, because he would be on the wrong side. So they may need to reshoot her scene where she steps it with her left foot. And
there we go. Exactly.
I like it. I like where your head's at on that.
Maybe he's sucking the spine all the way up her right leg.
It's like a party
spits it out.
Powerful. He sucks like Thunderball.
He sucks like Thunderball. Sucks like Thunderball.
I like this theory a lot more than I would think I would normally.
I like Brian Brushwood magic trick. Right?
Yeah, sounds right.
Spine from one foot to the other.
Henry Ford II, by the way, the grandson of Henry Ford, appears as an extra in this film, which is pretty interesting. Yeah,
okay.
Ford, this says he had a lot to do with providing vehicles. He was still with Ford then, obviously. And the light blue Ford Mustang.
Yeah, that goes 120.
Yeah. Through the forest, Jiminy Christmas.
I want that car though. That car was hot.
Once again, this is the lady who saved Bond.
Yeah,
Domino.
That was Volpe. No, that was Volpe driving the car.
Yeah. And I posted where it says Volpe kills Lippe for jeopardizing Largo's scheme back at the spa. I posted that
Volpe kills Lippe
right in the Discord. You're welcome.
Volpe kills Lippe. Queen takes Rook. Damn.
But then Domino also saves Bond.
Oh yeah. But not on the road.
When Bond is Bond's going to get shot. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah. He's getting shot. That's going to be part of the deal.
Another sad death because I wanted to know more about that guy because he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do the sex. What else did he do? He didn't drink.
He likes to shoot skeet.
I wrote that down. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do, Mr. Vargas?
Yeah.
And they never answered.
No.
He kills people? Not really. Who did he actually kill? Did he actually kill anybody?
I don't think so. Did he?
I don't remember him killing anybody.
Okay.
I'm not saying he didn't do it off screen. I didn't see him kill anybody.
New Blofeld or whatever, the cat guy, right? That's not the same one as they usually do. It was a different dude.
Well, up to this point, we haven't seen him because reasons. We have there's some kind of licensing reasons we haven't seen Blofeld yet.
Oh, is that true?
I'm forgetting the weird trivia around Blofeld being.
Yeah, when do we first see him? I know it's Donald Pleasance the first time we see. Well, I think it's Donald Pleasance
in the next movie.
No, we've seen him already, haven't we?
Pleasance, yeah.
I thought we saw him in previous one.
You Only Live Twice is when we first see.
Okay, have we not done that one?
Donald Pleasance. No, that's the next one.
That's the next one.
Seen,
okay,
yeah.
For whatever reason,
of Dr. No and Goldfinger.
I was sure Donald Pleasance was in one that we've seen. I guess not. Why do I think that?
Unless Donald Pleasance played a different character in.
Oh, that's possible.
Maybe he's back.
Maybe I saw him in something else and have conflated these things. I don't know. But
maybe he comes back. Maybe he was one of the ones that got killed earlier and was horribly disfigured, and he comes back. I don't know. I haven't watched all the James Bond movies. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no kidding, right? By the way, in the underwater scenes, is fun trivia where Bond encounters sharks. Sir Sean Connery was supposed to be protected by a clear plastic panel thing. That was supposed to shield him from the sharks close up. However, the panels only extended about 3 feet in height. Sharks could swim over them if they wanted. So as a result, in some of the scenes, according to this, Connery got much closer to real sharks than he wanted. Terrence Young, the director, said in an interview that scenes used in this movie were Bond reactions that were actually Sean freaking out. about shark miscues. So there'd be like a shark coming when it wasn't supposed to. And I thought, I'm watching this before I read that trivia, and I thought, you know what? He does look fricked out. He looks like he's
it does. It does.
What an amazing acting job.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's impressive.
Give you a little bit of the James Bond wiki. Blofeld, initially a partially unseen character portrayed by Anthony Dawson and Eric Pullman. Blofeld was subsequently played on screen by Donald Pleasance, Telly Savalas, and Charles Gray. A final depiction of the character, again unnamed for copyright reasons, appears in the pre-title sequence for Your Eyes Only, portrayed by John Hollis, voiced by Robert Reedy. Following years of litigation over the ownership of the character.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Blofeld is later reinvented for the Daniel Craig series. Played by Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
There was, I guess, Blofeld is borrowed from something else. I don't know what the deal
Which
was.
Surprises me because there's been such weird copyright and litigation between these films. This film, by the way, Thunderball, was remade with Sean Connery again, called Never Say Never Again. It was outside of canon, and it had Kim Basinger as Domino.
I think that was the first actually Sean Connery Bond I saw, actually.
Yeah,
wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember if it was for him. By the way, the two guys you mentioned, Anthony Dawson as the visual actor and Eric Pullman as the voice actor, same one from Russia with Love and Thunderball. Same pairing used.
Oh, wow.
For the two movies.
Oh, I had no idea. That's crazy. Yeah, that remake, I don't remember a thing about it, and I also didn't know it was a remake of this. Is it a faithful remake of this? I know it's bad, but is it?
I don't think so, because I didn't remember seeing this. I don't remember seeing. I've never seen Thunderball. This is my first viewing of Thunderball, and Never Say Never I've seen a couple of times. Never Say Never Again, and I don't think it's not 1-to-1 or anything.
From the description, I mean, you've got Largo and Domino and all that sort of thing.
Right.
It's same kind of thing, health clinic and stealing bombs, and et cetera. But it's also it's not based on Thunderball the movie. It's also based on Thunderball the book. So it kind of goes back to the source material and does its thing.
Right.
But you get, I think Max von Sydow is in that one as Blofeld.
As Blofeld,
right?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
But he also plays Blofeld in canon films, right?
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Or no?
Like, probably the biggest difference between the two movies is that they invent a different Spectre agent to be the one who's who basically Fiona in Thunderball is not in Never Say Never, and it's a character named Fatima Blush.
Oh. Yeah, I remember.
She is
that was Never Say Never Again. I thought that was a fun
Fatima Blush.
Fatima Blush.
What in the hell name is that? That's ridiculous.
The only time I saw Thunderball was when I watched Austin Powers. Because God, everything.
Oh, this movie! You need to see this movie before Austin Powers to get Austin Powers.
No, I feel as the guy here who hadn't seen it prior to Austin Powers, now some stuff makes sense, or now I understand references that I didn't know about before. That's fun. That's actually really fun to do.
Rowan Atkinson appears in Never Say Never Again as a character named Nigel Smallfaucet.
Shut up. Shut up. Is that real?
So that's real.
They don't restrict the horrible names. Yeah, to just the Bond women. It's basically, yes, here's Nigel Smallpenis.
I like to think that he requested that. I like to think that he came to set with his own names. This is
so early in his deal. I mean, this is before Blackadder and all that stuff, right? This is
this is pre that and Mr. Bean. All
Blackadder was 83, so this would have been
at that time.
You mean the remake? I don't know, 80 something.
The remake,
83.
Same year then.
Can I give you
when he started Blackadder? Huh?
Wow.
Can I give you the 5 big references from Austin Powers back to Thunderball?
Sure.
So number 2 is based on Largo. They both have eye patches.
And he's called number 2.
Yeah. In the casino scene between Austin and number 2, you have it's basically a remake of the casino scene where Bond and Largo first meet. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I thought that was pretty good in this movie. Like the Thunderball way of having Bond and Largo meet across a table and like have their little back and forth. I thought that was really awesome.
Except he kept saying Spectre. Yeah. Okay, we get it.
So here's the third one. The entire plot of hijacking a nuclear weapon and holding the world hostage. That's a Thunderball reference in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Dr. Evil has a device that controls the chairs of his subordinates.
Yeah.
Just like Blofeld.
Yeah.
And God, the money talk. Was that the next one?
Yeah. Oh no, the final big reference is the raft ending.
Okay.
In Austin Powers, Austin and Vanessa end up in a life raft. And then, in this movie, the same thing. Only in Austin Powers, we have Powers say, "This is how all my movies end, baby."
Yeah. And it's kind of true.
Great.
Not perfectly, but kind of true.
Why didn't they stick with just the raft though? The lift away by a plane is so bad.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. God, it just would have yanked them right off the boat.
Yeah.
Like that thing.
And then how do you put them down? How do you put them down safely?
And typically we've seen he ends up in the ocean a lot on rafts with women, and usually he refuses pickup while he does his thing. And this is just weird.
Some lovemaking. Yeah.
And then the scientist, where'd he go? They just left him there. They never even meant he didn't get in the boat.
No, he's in a separate raft.
Is he in a separate raft?
There were two boats. And there was a second one. You just barely see it as it starts to expand on the surface. Okay. And so the old dude that they saved from the boat, he gets his own life raft.
Yeah, but it doesn't pick him up. Like
right, yeah. So he can just float around.
He needs his own. I mean, what was that? A drone? Was it a manned plane or a drone? Or I don't know what that was.
A manned plane. I'm sure.
Yeah, back then.
If you lift people by a rope with an airplane, how do you set them down safely?
Yeah.
Someone tell me. I want to know.
How do you pick them up safely? Because that thing is going to yank you out of that boat so fast.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then if you have to turn in the air, my gosh, they're going to get flung around.
Yeah. His also these this combo of the really bright orange scuba top and then the tiny little white freaking Scoopy.
That was only him. So everybody else had the full orange. He had the shorty short, so you could recognize him underwater.
Underwater, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
figure out which one was James Bond.
Yeah. Not a fan of that look. That was a rough one.
I will say that, like I mentioned earlier, God, that whole scene, that fight scene, I've never seen anybody shoot anything like that on film. I've never seen anything like that big. Just so many people involved, so many people fighting at once, just so much going on.
I feel like there's something maybe since then but I think, this is a very
CGI. I've seen plenty of stuff done in CGI, but I don't think I've ever seen practical with that many people in the water fighting. Sure. That was just amazing.
Also, they made it seem like they hardly had any depth to that water. That wouldn't be correct. It'd be a lot deeper than when they're masks.
That's what I was trying to figure how far off the coast they were supposed to be. Were they near like some kind of sandbar of some sort or something? Because it felt weird.
Yeah. Well, you can even tell, by the way, that even the directors are feeling like, oh my God, this water fight is just going on for so long. I know what we could do. Let's add some extra sea life. Let's have let's have an eel. Let's have a lobster, stuck in the
freaking octopus. The humans. Octopus in this movie for no reason.
For no reason, yes. That's her first appearance of Octopussy, by the way.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Thank you.
Nice. She would later appear as a woman. But
Maud Adams. Yeah, she grows up.
Definitely some sharks harmed in the making of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Poor sharks.
I looked at Tina. I said, "Ooh, yeah, that's." Ooh,
they really shot that shark. They really.
They must think that's okay. It's a shark.
Yeah.
By the way, here's a great trope that this movie
you got another
stumbles
one,
into.
Hold on, there you go.
Yeah, the trope is called enemy mine, and that's when your forces and your enemy forces have to team up because sharks attack you both.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. By the way, I don't think we get any explanation of who the paratroopers are. They're like Marines or I don't know.
Right. They did.
The side of the plane said Coast Guard, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm assuming it was Navy, Coast Guard.
So the Coast Guard has Navy SEALs. Okay. It's very weird.
They're called Coast Guard SEALs, Randy.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. It was very
vague.
There's a good reason they aren't explained. They kind of don't make sense.
They have orange.
Yeah.
But I love that the Spectre frogmen are making a quick swim from Nassau to Miami. Apparently, you can do that, and and they get into a fight with this organized array of American soldiers.
Who are pretty good.
Underwater.
They've been training.
Yeah, and then they all have to turn and face their enemy, the sharks.
Yep.
It's great how everybody lines up so perfectly, and it's like they cannot, if I just step to the right a little bit, I can avoid all their harpoons and just basically attack, like flank them. But no, it's like a football game where they're restricted by the end zone or by
like I said, mad. Just movie making, just mad crazy respect for that whole scene and how they pulled it off and was able to film it and get people to perform, and God, it's crazy.
It's great until you do any thinking about what it's like to throw a punch underwater.
It's not enjoyable as a viewer. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
That's why I'm complaining about the length, because that extra runtime gives you time to think.
Yeah,
and like, I'm not saying that Michael Bay does it better per se, but I do enjoy.
There's a
not being given a chance to be.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's how do I explain how it made me feel? I felt like this was a movie caught between its own era and a new era coming.
Absolutely.
In the 70s, we're going to get weird for Bond, and this isn't his last one, right? He's got what?
No, we still have two more with a Lazenby in the middle.
That's right.
I'm sorry, two more Connerys with a Lazenby in the middle.
Yeah, see, I always think Lazenby was first, and I'm always wrong in that. I don't know why I think that.
We're getting there. But I have a feeling I'm really going to like the next one, and then I know I like Lazenby's On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So I'm starting to get excited, guys.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say about that.
For the most part, I feel like they do get better and better as we go. But so far, this is the one I like the most.
This is your
Agreed.
fave.
I think it's the most James Bondy of the James Bonds. This felt more modern than the rest of them.
See, that's why I'm saying I like From Russia with Love so much. It feels so James Bondy to me, and this one feels like it got a different movie mixed in. So I'm interested in how we came to these different conclusions, but I'm really not that interested. Like it's a James Bond movie. Like don't overthink it too much.
Yeah, it's easy to do that. Oh, I'm hungry right now. I wonder what I should do with my hunger. I know. I'm going to eat some Factor meals this June and July. Today's July 1st, but this month, all right? This is summer. We're in it right now. Okay? You're going to be busy watching these summer movies. It's hot movie summer, or whatever we say here on the show, right? You're trying to stick to your budget, and you're trying to cut back on takeout. Well, Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat and eat. You get back to your favorite movie. Enjoy the flavor and nutritional quality you need while you catch up on your hot movie action summer here on FilmSack or otherwise. All right? Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. It can keep you fueled up with fast and flavorful, nutritious, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track reaching your goals. Head to factormeals.com/FilmSack50 and use the code FilmSack50 to get 50% off your first box. If you're too busy with summer plans to cook, and not everybody's, you don't have all day, all right? But you need to eat well. Don't forget that. You don't want junk food. With Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, the prepping, the cleaning, all that stuff, and still get that flavor and nutritional stuff you need, all right? Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready to eat in 2 minutes, like I mentioned. Elevate eating at home with their new upscale surf and turf meal options. Roasted garlic filet mignon and shrimp, Cajun spice shrimp and salmon. Oh my gosh, this is killing me. I'm going to have to go get some of this right now. And you can choose from over 34 plus chef prepared, dietitian approved weekly options. And these include premium ingredients such as, broccolini, leeks, truffle butter, asparagus, you name it. Plus, you can round out your meal and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45 plus add-ons, including breakfast items like our delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato and bacon breakfast skillet. Anyway, all that stuff is amazing. If you want to throw some chicken wings in there or a salmon fillet or whatever, they got you covered. Head to factormeals.com/FilmSack FilmSack50 and use code FilmSack50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code FilmSack50 at factormeals.com/FilmSack50 and get your first box today. Well, I think we should overthink it with some clip selections. What do you think of that?
Did James Bond say some clever shit?
He did.
Let's enjoy some clips over some conch chowder. Conch chowder? Conch chowder?
You know,
Conch
he
chowder makes
really
you horny.
likes conch chowder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who really likes it?
James Bond.
Oh,
Yeah. Apparently, it's an aphrodisiac.
I don't know
That's
if
right.
I've ever had anything remotely like conch chowder in my life.
I don't know.
Very similar to, I'm
You
sure.
ever had clam chowder?
Is it like clam
It's the same
chowder?
stuff.
It's just another mollusk.
But they
right?
live in like conch shells, right? That's the same conch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You
okay.
you blow them out into the chowder.
First you listen and you feel like, boy, the ocean sounds a little boogery. Okay, blow it out now.
Right, oh, there must be some conch in here.
Fantastic.
something in here. Get out, buddy.
Conch on Earth. All right, here we go. Let's play clip number 1. This is Sean Connery just saying, All right, that's all. That's it.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know it was sexy. I think it was like with a girl or something. Here's
Conch chowder's good.
This is a fun line.
On yogurt and lemon juice? I can hardly wait.
Oh, geez, money.
So he's gonna bend her. He was gonna bend her over his knee, but he's at a spa. That's
where
the
he's
joke.
where he's been only drinking
like a-
lemon juice and eating yogurt, so he could probably barely lift
that
conch chowder.
Yeah.
that little clever joke crawled past me, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I actually stopped the movie and I had to understand the joke. I couldn't.
Right.
Like, what is she?
Because she says it.
knee,
even
does his knee have yogurt on it? It's,
Yeah, right.
I was
Or is
like,
that
oh, sexism."
Oh,
is that an
right.
aphrodisiac?
yeah, yogurt and lemon juice. That nothing turns me on like that.
Yeah, it's gonna burn something.
Here's this. It's nice to see he's still kind of weird and rapey. So here's this bit.
Behave yourself, Mr. Bond.
Yeah, the massage lady. He really just grabbed her. And,
Yeah,
man,
It's that this movie's self-awareness, the fact that she rebuffed him so aggressively made it seem like 100 times worse. Usually it's just
That
like they
really
just lean into it.
that
But
gets
oh my god.
completely subverted 10 minutes later. Like,
It
Right.
does,
Oh, yeah.
Like, all he has to do is rub her down with a mink oven mitt. And
She just goes, meat.
and when he says,
yeah.
mink, it helps loosen the tenseness or whatever. I'm like, come on, dude. No, it doesn't. And I'll bet it stinks. All mink things stink, by the way. They reek.
Yeah.
That's in the name. Mink
Yeah,
stink.
mink stink.
Yeah.
Here's
care
the
for it.
story of my life is what I wrote, but I don't remember if this is about me or something else. I don't remember. Here it is.
My cast here, Judy calls. The story of my life.
Oh, it's the French guy. Never mind. It was the story
Judo
of his-
calls.
Yeah.
Who's judo?
Judo.
Judy.
Oh,
Judy calls. Whoever
Judy calls.
Let me try that again.
My cast here, Judy calls.
It does
The story-
sound like he
calls.
says Judy
I'll
calls.
say Judy. Judy calls. Judy Dench calls. She's going to be appearing in a future movie.
Jew.
Now, here's my first example of bad audio mixing, and I'm going to play it first because why not? And it'll start loud, so it won't surprise you too much. So I'm letting you know. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm serious. That's not me altering anything. That's
No,
That's
no.
funny. And are we supposed to
Very
hear
aggressive.
what those people are saying on the phone?
we are. We're
Those are the-
supposed to
that's
hear
the,
it. It's really bad, you guys.
That's the people in the giant war room with the big map and the.
Yep. Every time they
countdown
cut over
clock.
there, it was always after or before something really loud, and there's no.
This-
not that everything
this is the
needs to
kinda-
be 100% leveled in movies. I don't think
Yeah.
that, but this
This
is
is the kind of confidence you can have in your movie and go, I'm going to edit this and it's going to be harsh. And you're going to go, it's harsh because I want it to be abrupt, but not thinking about the audience and going, the audience is not going to enjoy this. So this is art above.
I think you are
enjoying
giving them way too much credit for bad.
No, I'm
sound
telling you, the
editing.
confidence in this movie is ridiculous. They just leaned into everything.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
think it
like
was
saying,
laziness.
that was confident that quarterback fell over himself and pooped his pants. What a confident move, and it lost him the game.
Well, yeah. Well,
No.
yeah, but I'm saying I don't think it was neglect or laziness is what I'm saying.
Oh.
I think it was intentional And
I think it was bad sound engineering, and I think the 60s had a lot of it, and I think it was probably okay for the time because it was mono too.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we didn't get stereo movies back then. It was all monochrome.
Yeah.
I don't think audiences cared. I think they they were just happy to be watching a movie in a theater.
Yeah, they would be happy to spend their 65 cents for that.
Yeah. Did they have
theater
air conditioning in 1965 in the movie theaters?
Of course, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably not good air conditioning. Like
Not the good cold shit like we have now.
well, like
I said, of course, like it was global.
Yeah.
I remember going to movie theaters in Hawaii only 25 years ago that didn't have air conditioning.
Right.
Still didn't have air conditioning. So
Well, let's try this one. This is a horrible sound. That's the sound of him pulling that curtain aside, but it just kills me. Hate that sound.
Oh yeah,
mean?
when he's looking for the body that that he knows is somewhere in there, and it's behind the curtain. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. Here's one about losing a dog.
That's why he's probably lost a dog.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Something about the old man.
Now, thank you not to refer to me as the old man.
That's the old man.
you are you're objectively an old man.
Yeah.
What
And
the hell?
it feels like we rarely get scenes that have both Moneypenny and Q in them, even though they're
It's M,
separated by
right.
one door.
Yeah.
Or not Q. M. Yeah.
Yeah,
M.
I did the same thing earlier. I did
Yeah,
the same thing earlier.
it is
Letters.
rare. In fact, I can't think of another
Wow.
time.
How dumb am I? I just now realized that MI6 uses letters and Spectre uses numbers. God, how dumb am I? I just realized.
Well-
MI6 uses numbers too because of the
the
double
agents.
all the row of 00 agents so
Interesting.
far away from the people delivering the
Interesting.
meeting.
Yeah, those O's are zeros. So yeah, but
But those are O's. Yeah, there's O's in the alphabet, not zeros, right? No,
Well,
there are
those are
double
zeros.
they're
Right.
zeros. They just say
Interesting.
O. Yeah, it's like me saying
Okay, I'm thinking
801.
about it too hard. I gotta
Yeah,
stop.
they don't
You
say
totally are.
007 because that would sound silly.
The rain means something. I just know it. All right, here's a thing. Here's teeth to
It's
eyes.
the water.
I don't know what this teeth thing is. I'll just play it.
What sharp little eyes you've got.
Wait till you get to my teeth.
Oh yeah, what sharp
Yeah.
eyes you have, and then wait to get to my teeth. What are you
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about?
and like,
She-
oh yes,
He
I'm gonna
noticed.
rip your
Right.
face.
He said he noticed her anklet had her domino name on it, which only her friends call her. And so she says, "What sharp little eyes?" It says, "Wait till you get to my teeth." And then he says, "Like, see you later, alligator." And I was like, "Oh,
Did he
Oh,
really?
so that's the setup. Is I have little teeth and now I'm an alligator. And,
I don't know."
He didn't really say
No.
"see you later, alligator," did he?
No,
He
it's
did.
a different line that I will
It is a different line.
bring back up later. It's earlier in the movie. It's when he's leaving the spa and there's an irrigator machine and
Yeah, it's all
very
great
funny.
jokes.
It's very
good stuff.
funny.
Yeah.
This movie's got jokes.
okay,
It sure
okay,
does. All right, I ask you, what did this guy say? Let's find out what he said. What did he say?
Hey, Mo.
Shamu.
He's the guy that he kicked out of the room, gave his gun back even. He's in there with Felix, gives this guy his gun back, the assassin that was in the shower. And,
Right.
and as he leaves and shuts the door, he goes, it's like Shamu or something.
Shamu.
Save
That
the
is
whale.
What he should say
That
is,
is
boink.
is that Bahama magic language? Is that what he does when he just disappears, like in the smoke? Is that
No, he just, I don't know what it was. I don't know what he said.
It has
Great
something.
Babu, I think is what he says.
The line before it is him berating the guy to hurry back to Largo.
Mm.
I think he left his shampoo in the shower. Shampoo.
Shampoo!
Shabu.
Shabu. Shabu. I don't know what he said, but I do know what Q said. Q basically now establishes his attitude for the rest of the series moving forward right here.
Try to be a little less than your usual frivolous self, 007.
Yeah, that's pretty typical.
We're not going to talk about that shirt.
No.
Q. We're just going to.
No, we got to go right
should
over
wear
that damn
Okay.
shirt. Yeah, it's ugly. Boy, that's a funny thing to remember, but you're right. It was a loud ass shirt. We're in the Bahamas, man.
Sure.
You wear volume shirts in the Bahamas. That's what you do.
Yeah, it was great. He was truly fitting in.
Volume.
Yeah, like
shirt?
loud shirts, like
Oh, loud. Oh, right. Okay. Wow.
yeah, volume.
Why
that
did
way.
I not get that initially?
Well,
okay.
right.
Thank you.
Because volume could mean, volumetric, like you're thinking, or it could
Yeah, we
mean,
talk a lot about audio stuff. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah. How about this? Taken for a ride.
You look pale, Mr. Bond. I hope I didn't frighten you.
No, you see, I've always been a nervous passenger.
Some men just don't like to be driven.
No, some men just don't like to be taken for a ride.
Get it?
Yeah.
It's different. They don't like to. It's not that I don't like to be driven. I don't like to be
Yeah.
taken for a ride. See?
Yeah. I don't like how you flip this my chauvinism on me. I don't care for it.
Yep.
Stop it.
Now, I'm going to play one other example of bad sound mixing. This one starts quiet, so prepare yourselves. All right, here we go.
Bed feels like a cage. All these bars. Do you think I'll be?
That's legit a transition in the movie.
No way. That was really.
That was it was
right into they're down on the street doing Mardi Gras right there.
My God,
Fiona in the bed directly to the hat.
How many attendees to that theater shit their pants at that moment?
Well, it does make me wonder. So, the tech in the theaters in those days were monochrome sound or mono sound. They didn't have, any of that. So maybe they mixed. They were just different on the output, and they were more equal.
It could be in the
I don't know.
transfer. I mean, it could be somewhere in the transfer too. The prints that went out might have not been like this.
100% correct. It probably was something to that effect. It's like listening to the Beatles albums that have pure right or left and no
right.
Yeah.
It's just that's what they had. It's so
distracting. Yeah.
Scott, just jumping back to the Shamu, I went to the movie and found it with the closed captioning on. It's at 5730, and what he yells is "Now move."
Now move. Okay, now move.
Let's hear it now that we know.
Here we go.
Now move.
I swear he doesn't put the VE on there. He just says "Now move."
Now move.
Now,
Yeah.
Now move.
Now move.
now move.
Now move. All right. What is with this accent I wrote?
James Bond, who only has to make love to a woman, and she starts to hear heavenly choir singing.
Is that a French deal?
That's Italian. Well, what is
Kind of
that?
Italian, isn't
Right.
it?
So that's
That's Volpe, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
right.
Volpe.
Fiona. Yeah.
Fiona, yeah.
I like to call her Volpe.
She's supposed to be Italian.
Oh,
She is supposed to be Italian.
Okay.
Oh, wait, the actress is Italian.
Right.
It sounded like
But
an
she's-
Italian accent. It's just a thick one. Whew. That thing was like old school Sicily.
And her
get your
name is she's
pasta.
Italian, right?
Yeah.
She is Italian. Yeah, she's Luciana Paluzzi.
And they didn't do as much overdub on her, so they must have liked the way she talked, I guess.
Well, and it's not a replacement either. That's her actual voice.
Right. Yeah, every time
I listed out the 5 people that get their voice replaced just so I could make sure I get it right.
Yeah. Here's one. What? Oh, this is after she gets shot in the back, and there's a whole bad joke here. Here you go.
One of my friends sits this one out. She's just dead.
By the way, I love how the music they play at the Kit Kat Club sounds like the music you hear on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Or not
yeah.
Kit Kat.
One of my friends sits this one out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like very piratey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Old school pirate, like
Old school, like Pirates of the Caribbean ride pirate.
Yeah. Or like one of those old swashbuckler movie things.
Or Gilligan's Island music.
Yeah. All right, here's that guy one more time.
Jettison cocoon.
Yeah, jettison cocoon. We have a smaller boat inside of larger boat.
Yeah.
I
Jettison
love
cocoon.
that we instantly knew what he was saying in this case.
Yeah, in this case we knew. Yeah. The ADR worked. All right.
He left all those people to die, boy. He left them in the shit part of the boat. And
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's a bastard. One-eyed giant nose man.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I believe what we have here is some checklist items. Slow as hell, check. He's even hairier this time, check. And finally, sound mixing by a room full of drugged bonobos, check. All right, moving on. Let's do Star Trek connections. I'm guessing it's like the last 4. There's hardly any or none at all.
And none. There's none. It's just these movies are too far away from the production of Star Trek at this point.
Yeah,
like it's too far away in time.
Yeah, most of these people in 65, most of these people like in their late 30s, 40s, and Star Trek's about to come along, and it uses a bunch of young actors at that time.
Yeah, there's one stunt guy in this movie who did stunts in Star Trek 5, but that's it. Nothing else.
And that's it. 5. Wow, that's pretty later. That's a long career that guy had, I think.
Yeah, stuntmen aren't supposed to have long careers, right? We've heard from a certain TV show.
Yeah,
what's the lyric at the beginning of
The Fall Guy?
Fall Guy?
I've been blown up for something. He's a pig
20
for
times.
Raquel Welch, but I'm an unknown stuntman.
With Farrah?
Yeah.
I kind of look
amazing.
like Sean Connery.
A little bit. All right. I used to be the Bionic Man. All right, let's do Star Trek Connections we did. Let's do the soundtrack grade. I give it a C for Cheese Fest. I thought this was not great. It didn't do it for me the way most Bond things do. I think the Tom Jones song is fine, but the rest of the movie didn't use enough. I just needed more of that. Yeah. The last movie did that better, I thought. So anyway.
So John Barry, who always seems to me like he was an old man his whole life, but John Barry was only 30 when he was scoring these films, which is just mind blowing to me. I can't let go of that.
Yeah.
But really good later career. He just he just kind of like, I don't want to say phones it in, but like there's only so much you can do as a composer with this movie.
Yeah, he does what he does with what he does, and it's fine. It's okay. Let's move on to the Twitter post.
This is the guy that's going to go on to compose Dances with Wolves. Like, a legend.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal there. That's crazy. I didn't realize it was the same guy.
Wow. Yeah, John Barry.
All right. Kind of
two first names.
In the mood for that movie. Let's get to the Twitter post, the social media post of sorts that we like to do. And we sum things up in 280 characters or less as to this film. And let's start with Randy.
Thunderball. Roses are red, violets are blue. Spine stretch table may or may not kill you. Poppies are red, lilies are white. Don't at me, but Thunderball is grade A shite.
Wow.
I didn't know you could rhyme shite.
I'm going to at you. I'm going to at you right now.
Yeah, at him.
I'm just kidding.
So can I ask a quick question about, because you referred to that table again, and then it reminded me of this the Steam box that people, their heads only stick out.
Yes, yeah.
I've never only really seen those except in like cartoons or something.
Cartoons and this are the only place. Yeah, the little
everybody always shrinks down, right?
The Captain Pike Steam box.
Yeah. So that's my question. Has anybody here had either of these experiences? I've never even seen either of these contraptions.
I've never been in a sweat box, and I've never been on a rack. So yeah, I can't say that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's clearly the worst spot ever.
It seemed like it sucked.
Yeah. It was very modern.
Like Randy said, one employee and a whole bunch of shitty equipment that breaks down and can't be turned off easily.
Yep. Everyone's got the shits from the yogurt and they smell like lemons and it's just no good. All right. Nicely done. Let's move over to Brian Dunaway.
Thunderball. This movie makes me wish I had 2 eye patches. Hashtag kiss kiss my Thunderballs.
Nicely done. Finally, Brian Ibbett.
Thunderball. His fight goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Conch chowder.
Conch chowder. That should be. I want to hear Shirley Bassey sing Conch.
I do too. Conch
chowder. That'd be great. All right. Nicely done, everyone.
Was the entire premise of landing the airplane in the ocean that they would be able to detect it if it had landed on land? Like, that's the only reason.
Is that the conceit?
That was the conceit, I think.
Yeah, it scrambles some of the signals that the plane gives out or something, the water. I don't know.
We have sonar now that is very easily would pick that up, but I think maybe back then we didn't, or maybe the government didn't share any of that information. But that took James Bond with a neat shot. With a what was that? A little basket with no bottom in it, and he's staring through that to see if he could see where the location was.
That was
fun. Yeah, the bucket.
Dunaway, I agree with you that it was a neat shot, but it wasn't a neat idea. The idea was just bothersome to me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Let's move on now to these alternate titles. This was almost called Blunderball or Swimsuit Small.
Ooh.
I just needed
we
something
were
to
getting
rhyme.
into the smaller bikini.
Very small. All right, we got a couple of emails to read real quick here on the show. Filmsack@gmail.com is where you will send your emails. You can also text us at 801-471-0462. And we hear first from Brad, who says, I just finished listening to your episode on guilty pleasure films. I have 2 that I've loved since their release, and I know they are bad movies. Masters of the Universe and the 1993 Super Mario Brothers film. We've done both of these?
I was going to say we've done both, right? I feel like it. I've definitely seen both a million times.
Yeah, and I will agree. They're fun to see. I kind of enjoy it every time I do. They're both shit.
And that is some guilty pleasure right there.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good, you fit the definition, Brad. Nice job.
Well, Eric, I'm loving all the discussion around guilty pleasure movies. I just think it's been such fun.
No, that turned out to be a really great topic. People have been going crazy on that. And now that we've got the forum structure in the Discord thing, people should use that more. So join our Discord, frogpants.com/Discord will get you in. And we have like lots of great conversations. I'm trying to get everybody talking about the movie we're about to do every week. So I put the Thunderball thread up today or yesterday. We'll start doing that kind of stuff more. So come join us over there. There's always great people in there chatting.
And don't forget, we're all looking at Patreon every day. You can comment there and have your exclusivity, and we'll see it.
Yeah, it is correct. Eric Baston wrote in. No one loves to take me like Baston. Anyway, he says, "Dear Film Sack, I have listened since Kroll." Well, that is a long time.
Ooh, that's number one.
That
You
was
couldn't
episode
listen
number 1.
any longer than that, really.
No.
2009. Geez. That was before Frog Pants became a company. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Anyway, when I was 5 years old, my mom gave me a pair of my old shoelaces, and I went out in our backyard in Jackson, Mississippi, and climbed up a tree and tied them to a branch about 10 feet up. I then proceeded to swing like Tarzan and within about 1.5 seconds, the old shoestrings broke, leaving gravity to take me to the ground, where I landed on my left wrist, breaking it. When they took me to the hospital, they realized I had a pool of blood in my stomach and my spleen had been ruptured from the accident.
Oh my God.
They took me into surgery. Within an hour, removed it. We were talking about people without their spleens, by the way.
Right.
At 5, I had learned to swallow a pill of penicillin to take shots at the time. I learned to swallow a pill. I had to take penicillin until I was 18 years old to stop infections. I'm now 46 and have had no adverse effects from living without my spleen since. I do have to be careful because if I ever got pneumonia, I would have to go to the hospital, and that has not happened yet. I absolutely love the show, and this is one of the things I look forward to every week. Please keep up the hilarious work. Thanks for all the years of laughs, Eric. So we asked the question: can you, there's a couple episodes ago. We were like, can you?
It was a reference to the movie Patriot Games.
I believe so.
When the daughter lost her spleen.
There you go. Exactly, that was right. Yeah. And he wrote in and says, "Look at me, I got the no spleen life."
Yeah. So that was it.
To hold me down.
I didn't know about the pneumonia thing. If you get pneumonia, that's a particular risk.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the spleen actually did until we watched that movie and started having the discussion. And now I've been educated.
Yeah.
I'm better for it.
Would you eat a spleen, like a pig spleen or anything?
Would I eat a spleen?
Probably.
Why don't you eat a spleen? Why don't you eat a whole bag of
have
spleens?
if you've had a ballpark hot dog.
Yeah, that's a good
those
point.
Scottish weirdos eat spleens.
Probably. But I'll bet we've all had a spleen and no one told us.
Accidentally.
Well, depends on how much Oscar Mayer has to live by whatever rules they have.
I'll also bet pig spleen's good eating.
Might
I'm looking
be.
at Oscar Mayer right now.
Yeah, if you
less than 1% spleen.
You prepare it well. You know how to prepare a good pig spleen. You're probably good. I would assume. Well, Eric, that's a fun thing to share with us. Your no spleen life. Thank you for that. Real quick, I want to mention, speaking of Patreon, we mentioned them earlier. We got some new folks this week that I would like to call out. People that joined us this week: Grant C., Drew B., not Barrymore, just a different Drew, Michael B., Ironsides, Lucas G., Corky P., and this is my favorite, Testicle Tickler McPoopy Poo. That's all one word. All one word with caps.
It's good to see my mom is supporting the show.
Finally, after all her stories about prom, she's in here.
What if that's a person placing an ad for a product that they're
for the testicle tickle McPoopy Poo?
Oh, look at that! Wow.
I don't watch enough infomercials, but I'm sure something out there exists. Also, Brandon M., Jonathan G., and Steve N. These are all wonderful new human beings that have joined us over at patreon.com/filmsack. If you would like a show with no commercials or ads, pre-show content every week, monthly host specials, and movie-related art in the mail, other benefits too, I can't even list here because there's so many. You'll want to join us at patreon.com/filmsack. Support your favorite show today in the only way we have, which is that. So go do it. Our next movie is Green Lantern, 2011's Green Lantern.
It's a hot action movie summer we got going here.
I didn't see it when it came out, so I am nervous about this one.
I have also never seen it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mostly due to my ignorance of DC in general. So very interesting.
So Ibit, you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
Dunaway, you've seen it or no?
No, see.
Oh my gosh.
No way, I'm the only one who's seen
You're
this.
the only one.
You're
the
like
only thing I remember is Ryan Reynolds going, imagine this, but all over.
No, this is like, it's just the exact reverse of your like Knight Rider. You've never seen the rest of us have.
We're going to know how Ibit feels.
Yeah.
And I feel just as good about being like, I care just as little about being the only one who's seen Green Lantern as I do about not seeing Knight Rider, A-Team, or whatever the other one, Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh
and
my
as
gosh.
a brief continuation of last week's episode, 26% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, nice and low. That's where we're
going
like
to see if it's a guilty pleasure or not once we report back.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I heard somebody recently, or I guess, I can't remember who said it. Somebody said recently the Green Lantern might be back on the table. Maybe it's a TV show they're making at Disney. Or
I think the character itself is a great character. I don't think they should abandon it. I think it could do all kinds of
Something's
stuff.
coming up. I can't remember if it's another film attempt or if it's a show.
Yes, Lanterns is the name of the
That's
show.
it. See, and that's the right way to go because you want to get into like all these other lanterns. They're so much fun.
It's a cool decor. The Green Lantern core is such a cool concept.
Totally. Yeah. And in Sinestro, is it Sinestro?
Sinestro, yeah.
Sinestro.
What?
The guy with the stupid mustache. I love him.
Yeah.
Purple guy mustache.
Yellow is I'm yellow.
I'm the other color spectrum.
Yeah. Oh no, green. Oh no. Anyway, that's all coming up next week. Green Lantern. Where's it on? Max or something? Netflix? Where are we seeing that?
It's got to be on Max with all the Warner Brothers stuff, I'm guessing.
I would think
HBO Max is what we've got.
Okay. So watch that. That's Max.
HBO? What?
Yes.
What is this HBO thing you refer to, Randy? What is that?
From my cold, dead hands.
Right. It'll always be HBO Max.
There's like a little place on your monitor where if you hold the browser just right, you've taken a Sharpie and put an HBO above the logo where it says Max. I like that.
Right.
You're dedicated.
I only have to type max.com, but I still type HBO Max and let it forward me.
Yeah, I do too. That's really funny. Yeah.
That's still where it's bookmarked for me.
It's going to take time.
Anyway, that'll be next week. So please join us then for that. In the meantime, filmsack.com is our website. And you should go there. Once again, patreon.com/filmsack. Leave us reviews wherever you get your shows because it helps the show out even all these years later. We really appreciate those who do. That will do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
See you later, Irrigator.
We'll see you next. Bye.
Get more at frogpants.com.
Shamu!